All right, I think I'm live. Hey guys, how you going? Merry Christmas. Say hello to me. Let me know what are you guys up to for the holidays? Are you taking time off? Are you working? Are you doing big family things? What are you doing? I'm going to answer a question that I get all the time, and I've never done a live on this or answered this question before, but it's what is better, Facebook or school? And Sarah, what are you doing? Are you going to school and when and why? And all those questions that I get all the time around that. And so I'm going to explain to you guys my side by side comparison, like my logical kind of reasoning, what platform is better for what reasons, what works for me, what I'm doing, how we're going to move forward this year, and all of that jazz. So, obviously, I'm a little bit biased because I am on Facebook, but I'm going to try to do this in a really non-biased way. Like I'm really logical about my decisions and why I want to do business in certain ways, right? And what is the outcome or what is the payoff for doing things in certain ways. And so anytime that you're going to make a decision in your business, whether it's to move your platform or to change your marketing strategy, change your offer, change where your clients are based, right? Like you want to ask like what is the payoff for that? What is the benefit? Or a better question is what problem am I trying to solve, right? Or what problems might come up. And so here is my thinking around Skool, right? Obviously we're all Facebook, we do everything on Facebook. And the reason that I started a Facebook community in the first place, very initially, and it's still so true today, and it's still so relevant for our clients today, is that when I was creating content on social media, and most of you are creating content on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it may be, I was having a hard time getting people going straight from content to my workshop or my webinar, or my challenge or my conversion event, right? So we have our content, which is how we're building our audience, generating leads and nurturing those leads. And most people don't have a clear strategy for how they're one, attracting and then two, nurturing, right? So you need to be able to attract people into a space and you need to be able to nurture them in a systematic way. And we were just really struggling to nurture them enough to the point that we could consistently get people to come to our conversion event, because then the next thing you need is a conversion event, right? And so the Facebook group was just like this really soft call to action to say, hey, if you want to check it out, check it out. If you don't, that's okay. No pressure, in your own time. And so then people were able to go, okay, cool, I'll go take a look and then watch the replay. And they're like, wow, this chick actually knows something. That was actually helpful. Let me continue to answer her questions or talk to her. Or yes, when you offer them the next thing, they're like, I do want to come to your workshop or your challenge because that video that you just did was really helpful. And so that's why we started a Facebook group. It became this really soft, really easy call to action. It became a really nice way for us to nurture our leads, display competency, get valuable content to people in a very low pressure way. And that is still very relevant. If we were to go to school, then we have to ask people to go and download another app and then go and hang out on that app and then communicate with me on that app. And in most cases, you're creating just a lot of friction at every step of the customer journey process, and you're just going to lose people the whole way, because especially if you're like in a B2B, I mean a B2C scenario. So if you're B2B, you're working with businesses that are already online, already using Skool, already using these apps and this technology, it might be a little bit different. But if you're working with B2C, like mums or everyday people who don't have Skool and they don't know what the heck that is, and they're not hanging out over there, and you're going to ask them to go and download this app that they don't know and then hang out on it just for you. Like, what is the likelihood, even if you get them to download the app, that they're then going to go and hang out on it so that you can get all these nurture sequence pieces in place, right? And you can actually talk to them and get video content and connect with them. And so it just doesn't make sense if you're doing organic marketing to move it to Skool. And the reason that a lot of people have is because they're afraid that they're going to lose their Facebook account, right? Or they're going to lose their group or they're going to get booted or something like that. And the way that I'm looking at it is in the short term, I would make a ton more money staying on Facebook than trying to go to Skool. And so if I lost my Facebook group in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 2 years, 5 years, if something happened and I did lose access to my Facebook group, I would still be way better off starting over again, whether it's on a different platform or with a different lead gen process. I would still be way better off than if I was trying to funnel those people to school and making a whole lot less money because I wasn't able to nurture them as quickly, right? And move them to the point of buying. And so, um, if you are doing organic marketing, meaning you're not paying for ads, right? You don't usually have a very heavy like flow of traffic. You don't usually have hundreds and hundreds of people coming through every single week. You've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 people coming through per week, which is enough to make multiple six figures, right? Like we built to over $1 million cash per year with only 40 group members coming in a week. That's crazy. Only 40 group members. So it's a very, like a very moderate lead flow. It wasn't a huge amount of leads. But the conversion rates were really high because the connection is really high. So the deeper the connection, the higher the conversion. If I was to then take that and put that to Skool, the KPIs would drop so much. Like we wouldn't have $1 million cash business just from 40 leads per week. We would need a lot more leads per week to make those numbers work, which means that then we would have to run ads or have another way that we're getting the leads. So if you're doing organic marketing, to me, it makes a lot more sense to be on Facebook. If you're doing B2C, so you're just working with everyday people or even people who aren't coaches, like maybe you're working with hairdressers. Does a hairdresser know what Skool is? Like, is a hairdresser hanging out on Skool? So if you're just working with general population who aren't coaches and they're not in the online space and they don't know who Alex Hormozi is and they don't know who all of that is, what's the chance that they're going to be hanging out on Skool? I would then still be, I would still be preferring Facebook over that. If, however, you have a heavy lead flow, you're working with like online businesses that know all about Skool, you have a really good and a really unique offer, really good hooks to get them to join. And it's not that you shouldn't already have good hooks and a unique offer and all of that, but you need to be even better because you're asking someone to come to another platform and to hang out there for you and to check different notifications and right for you. So it needs to be an even better hook to make them want to go and do that, to entice them to put in the extra effort because you're creating friction. And so anytime that you always want to be creating path of least resistance, but if you are creating friction in your business, then there's one or two reasons why you're creating well, there's only one reason to create friction intentionally, and to intentionally create friction would be if you're actually wanting to reduce your lead flow. So, as an example, at the moment, we are hiring a head coach, and I made it really difficult to apply for the job. There's like multiple layers. You got to follow exact steps. You got to send a video. You got to do a personality test. So, I'm creating a lot of friction every step of the way to weed out the not good enough, right? And they're not qualified, and the people who can't follow steps, and the people who can't do a 90-second video, right? And all of that. So I'm actually creating friction. I'm making it really difficult because I don't just want anyone there. But if you are and that's the only reason you would want to create friction in your business is if you really want, you want less, but you want quality. So you want less, but you want quality. That's when you're going to create friction in your business. But when you are getting your business off the ground and you're brand new, you don't want to create friction in your business. You actually want the path of least resistance. You want it easy for people to work with you, easy for them to say yes to you, easy for them to get your next video or to have a conversation with you. So it just makes more sense to me to be doing that on Facebook than to be doing that on Skool. But that being said, if you're someone that is running ads, or you have a high lead flow and you know how to get a really high lead flow and you have really good hooks and really good offers to go over there, then sure, it might make sense to go to Skool because then you know also that you have that extra layer of security of not having to worry about it. The other option would be for paid communities, so your paid groups. And I do love that Skool have these features and functionalities in there to upsell people and to put your offers and everyone's like, oh, Sarah, you can just sell them straight to the next offer and that's amazing. I love that they have that. However, Right. How often do people just come into your space and click the thing and buy the thing without going through some kind of conversion event, whether it's a sales call or an event or a video sales letter or a webinar or something, right? Like it's very rare that people just click and buy things. So again, for that feature to be really great, you still need to have a heavy lead flow. You still need to have a lot of people in there. Otherwise, you still need other ways to convert those leads, right? Even upsells and re-signs, we still need a sales strategy for upsells and re-signs. And so, as much as I love having that feature in there and I think it's really cool, but could you implement something similar in your regular Facebook group or a different community? Probably. Now, that being said, is there any other like pros and cons to putting your paid community over there? Obviously, the pros to putting your paid community over there is less risk of being booted off of Facebook. The cons, from what I'm seeing, is it still doesn't have the same amount of engagement as Facebook because again, we know how to use the platform. We're hanging out here. And so if I was to start from scratch with my paid community, maybe I would move my paid community over there if I was starting from scratch. But that's because starting from scratch at with your clients, right? Same as building a regular business. Business is built one relationship at a time. So you're building relationships with every lead that comes through into community. You're building a relationship with every client that works with you. And when you're creating engagement in your client community, it's the same. It's one relationship at a time. At the beginning, you're small. A lot of them are working with you one-on-one. They build that relationship, they build that trust with you, they become raving fans, and they're going to engage and connect with people in the community. And so if I was starting again, I'd maybe start over on Skool for the paid community and build up that engagement in the paid community one person at a time because at the beginning you were doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Now we have, I don't know, 200 or 300 people in our paid community. It would be really difficult to move them all across. It's possible. It's not possible. It's not that many. It's not like there's 1,000, right? It's not that big. But it would be so much communicating and communicating and communicating because no matter how many times you communicate stuff, if you're communicating it to more than one person, everyone's gonna get a different message. And then like it's just, to move everyone over and like, I don't think it's worth the headache. And I don't think it will be as engaged as it is in our regular Facebook group. So I'm not moving anything to Skool. I am not moving our paid community to Skool, and I'm not moving our free community to Skool. If I was to have to start again scratch for whatever reason, I might maybe start the paid community on Skool. So if you're like brand new and you're getting off the ground and you want to have somewhere to host all your programs and you can run little events and you're building the community, you are like building it, right? And you're pouring into it. Not that your team can't do that too, but definitely when you're small and you're getting off the ground and people have that relationship with you, it goes a long way. Um, then maybe start the paid community in Skool. I would probably still be doing your free community on Facebook, assuming that you are doing organic marketing on Facebook and you don't have a heavy lead flow and you're not running ads, and especially if you're doing like B2C. So that's kind of like my pros and cons and my thinking behind it. And I hope this was helpful for you guys. You just comment helpful if it was helpful. Hey Chris, Raina, Yada, how you doing? Hello, hello. I did also do a workshop on the weekend on how to create your own AI ninja. It's like a ChatGPT custom like plugin, but it has all of my copy. So like all my frameworks and like this is like my IP, but I put it into like a prompt for you guys to just take it and plug it into your own custom GPT so it can have all of my knowledge of how to write really good content. And then I created this really, really epic prompt for it to get like the best information from you to create viral content. Like these are like polarizing opinions that you have, beliefs that you would happily stand up for, your stories, all these different things. So that it's going to have all this information about you, and then it's going to have all my frameworks. And then I created even like an anti-AI, how to not sound like AI rulebook, and then an anti-boring content like rulebook and everything for it. Like it's actually really, really good. I can't believe I did it for free. So if you guys missed it, just comment ninja and I'll send that through to you. It's like Merry Christmas to you. Otherwise, peace and love. I hope you all have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Bye.